Today, we're going to be going into something really, really cool. Now, if you're a Plus member, if you're a Mind Mastery member, you're going to get a bonus exclusive of the audio I just did today, which is a follow-on from yesterday. So how you can actually create miracles in your life and how you can actually get the world to give you some well-deserved happiness by this one cool, simple trick. And also how you can actually evoke that transformation and evoke your success by doing very, very small things which transform your world. Now, of course, if you want to get access to that, go ahead to the link below, which is, I'm going to put this out to my podcast as well. I shouldn't, because I don't really put it there. But if you are listening on this podcast, as we get the replay up, it will be josephclough.info/live offer. We won't be live on the podcast, of course, but it is live for everyone else watching right now. Okay? So one of the My Master members said, what happened? Well, go ahead into the private group and you'll be able to see that audio right there, if that's the question that you're asking. So let's get down to business. Here's the thing. Are you speaking ill into your life without even realizing it? Now, this is such a common thing, and we're going down a bit of a similar theme as we have been in the last few lives, which is overindulgence into the negativity in our life, the overindulgence and the drama that we begin to participate in, which is not something that we really want to do. Sorry, 1 second. This young man was getting into a few wires where he shouldn't be. So I'm going to go ahead and put him down. We had a guest on the show right there. So are we indulging in the drama? Are we indulging in the stresses of life? And also, are we doing it in this new way? Now, here's what I really mean by this, by speaking ill into our life. Without even realizing, you could actually be projecting the negative energy in your life, which is attracting negativity and things into your life without even realizing it. This is happening so common. It happens with my one-to-one clients in the beginning, and I've really got to train them up and give them what they really need to be able to no longer do that anymore. And I don't obviously want you to go through that either. So here's what it really is. Without realizing it, are you speaking ill into your world? And by that, are you participating in some drama? Are you putting like daggers out there to people which are actually not any of your business? So let's go, for example, when you're going into, with your friends, are you gossiping in any way? Are you getting involved in their drama, their stresses, which is beginning to get your physiology, your neurology? You see, when you're speaking drama into in a conversation, or if you're talking about someone in an ill way, you are actually creating ill in the body. You're starting to get more stress in the body. You're experiencing the stress and the drama of just engaging in that kind of conversation. Let's say, for example, you're with your friend and they're going through their drama, or you're talking about someone, and that intention of the talk is maybe a bit of hate. Maybe it's a bit of a dislike. Maybe it's a little bit of that weird feeling of resentment. Now, what are we really doing there? When we're actually being resentful to someone, if we have that bit of anger for someone, if we're experiencing that negativity onto someone, what you're really doing is you're putting it back on yourself. The very notion, the very nature of speaking ill about someone means you're already speaking ill about yourself. When you are going and speaking ill, you are feeling a certain way. If you're getting caught up in other people's drama, you are feeling that drama. You are feeling that resentment. You are feeling the anger. And no matter how, I'm not going to say it's even warranted, but no matter how you perceive it to be warranted, you are actually creating more of that in your own life. By venting in that energy. And I know it is, people enjoy gossiping. They like getting involved in other people's business because it's exciting, but really it's because they haven't got much going in their life. I'm going to be really blatant. You might not like that at all, but usually when we're gossiping about other people, we're usually either hating on them and we're not happy within ourselves. Because if we were happy in ourselves, we would not spend time evoking that negativity about someone else. It's like the analogy of having poison for that person and drinking that poison yourself. Because you're speaking ill of people, if you're speaking ill in politics, if you have hate towards someone, in politics, if you have hate or dislike or frustration when it comes to the economy or people in your life, you are actually evoking that feeling and that idea. You're planting the seed for that to fester. You're planting the seed to experience more of it. Now, it's easy for us, right? I mean, it's very, very easy to get caught up in that drama. Because why? Makes sense. Because we dislike something. We dislike a present situation, or we dislike someone. We dislike what's going on in an area of the world, or in politics, or in our friendships, or our friends' friends, in the workplace. It makes sense as to why we do it. It does, because it gives us something to get involved in, and because it has violated our values. That's the key thing here, right? So you have values in here. Your mind and body, your unconscious mind, you have values. You have beliefs, you have values, you've got certain personality types, you have all your past experiences, you have the decisions that you've made, all those things, all those filters on the inside. Now, if someone annoys you, so much so, is because you feel violated at a value level. So when you're starting to participate in that drama, you feel that there's something wrong in that situation because it's violating you. It doesn't sit well with you. But if you are engaging in that conflict, if you're engaging in that stress, if you're actually really purposefully engaging and evoking it by speaking of it and speaking with your friends, speaking with your partners, speaking to your family members, speaking to about it on social media right now. If you're experiencing hate on someone, whether it be on a Facebook comment, you see, when you're experiencing that level of emotion, and you're experiencing those feelings and those thoughts, ultimately, you're only causing more distress into your life. You're causing yourself to get conflicted. Now, let's put it this way. If you're feeling that stress, if you're feeling that emotion, which is not good, like not the positive emotions, it means you're directing it upon yourself unknowingly. Anger for others is really also anger for ourselves. I know it's hard. I'm not saying that we should forgive people. I mean, that is always a choice. It really is. I'm never here to tell people to have to do this, have to do that. But what I am telling you is when we are having resentments to people and when we're having anger to people, when we're having conflict with that disagreement, or we're just gossiping, even if we take it to a lowest level of gossiping, you are engaging in unproductive emotions and thoughts which are ultimately directed at yourself. Because each word that you say has emotion attached to it. Now, depending on the word, has more or less. Like toothbrush may not have much emotion to it, but if you're talking about maybe someone in politics, you might say their name, might just utter it, and you feel that anger growing. Or on the other hand, you might just think of your wonderful sibling or partner, and you feel that love. You see, each word has an energy. It has a meaning attached to it. It has almost a label attached to it that this means something to you. Once again, it's your values. And depending on the quality of that thing or that word, you have a certain big or small or indifference to whatever that is. Now, when you're engaging in that gossip, and if you're engaging in other people's issues so much that you get lost in it, you are actually projecting that into your body. Now, that is, you might not like that, but it is just science. You see, when you're in that place of gossip or that place of hate, you are feeling those emotions. Those emotions are in our mind and body. We are biologically experiencing stress by speaking ill into others, into situations, or just in conversation. It is not allowing you to really be healthy. So we must begin to become conscious of the words that we're saying. Now, you can carry on doing those things. Like I said, it is all choice. If we want to hold on to resentments, if we want to hold on to anger, if we want to hold on to grief, I'm not here to say that you shouldn't do it, because it's all about choice. But if you feel as if, and here's the real thing, if you feel as if it's messing up your productivity, if it's causing you to feel stress, if it's causing you to feel conflicted, if it's causing you to get worked up, anger, sadness, fear, guilt, hurt, frustration, if it's causing you to feel those emotions, then I would propose a different way of being. Now, when it comes to gossip, you've just got to refuse to participate in it. You would not want people talking about you in an ill way. You wouldn't. So you have to refuse to participate in those conversations. Because some people, as I said, enjoy gossiping. We all have friends who enjoy the gossip. But when we're starting to actually engage in it, and you'll know if you're honest, that you start to get caught up in it. You see, when two or more people come together, is this weird group dynamic where things begin to escalate. And that is why when vigilantes come together, it can actually cause humans to do something against their values. It causes them to do irrational behaviors because each energy is bouncing off one another and it's escalating either that anger, that frustration. And that is where sometimes the peaceful protest can actually get out of control and be not peaceful. So when we're engaging, that's obviously at a big social level, but when we're engaging in gossip, we are losing ourselves in that moment. And we're getting engaged, those feelings, which is causing you to feel more conflicted. So the question might be to you, how can we stop that? Well, like I said, first of all, you've got to put a stop to engaging in the gossip. You've got to stop engaging in that drama. That's a choice thing, right? You can choose to speak ill about someone or speak ill about a situation, but that always just reaffirms reasons. It gives you the feelings of sometimes release. And I get that. That's where it can kind of make sense because we're venting in some way. But there are some things you do not need to participate in. And I don't think we should ever speak ill of people. Instead, we become proactive in getting solutions. You see, if more people began to come together in that peaceful, solution-based process, would actually move far better. Now, I know there are things happening in the world which are horrible. But when we start to engage in that drama to a point where we're getting so angry with ourselves, it's not going to really cause you to feel the most solution-based. We've got to be able to come together as a team. Like you and I right now, we've got to make a decision to no longer speak ill about others. Now, of course, like I said, there's varying degrees of things. I'm not going to get into the real big events happening in the world. I think we shouldn't be always inundated with all that stuff. If you feel like it is really bringing you down so much you cannot live your life in a healthy way, then yeah, I would say begin to cut off some of the news. But I'm talking about more on a personal level, when you're speaking to people in your life and you're getting involved in the drama and you're starting to lose yourself in that emotion. So number one, we need to refuse to participate in speaking ill. And that goes for ourselves too. You've got to take a stand with me right now and go, look, do you know what? I'm not only going to stop speaking ill about others, but I'm also going to stop speaking ill of myself. Because I know that many of us, as I said yesterday, that we would not always treat our best friend the way we treat ourselves. And those thoughts are polluting ourselves too, those emotions. And like I say, when it comes to gossiping, it's like having the poison and drinking it yourself, because you are actively engaged. So refuse to participate in that local drama, because it's not going to allow you to be able to be the best you. Instead, begin to put your attention on what really needs to be put attention on, which is your well-being, which is solution-based strategies, which is going to allow you to increase your success. You see, when you become the best version of you, when you do upon to others as you do to yourself, or vice versa, you will begin to raise your energy. You'll be able to speak kindly to yourself, and you'll begin to experience a whole new different kind of world, because you're no longer deleting, distorting, and generalizing on a biological level. You're actually beginning to engage in what is good in this world. You begin to get that feeling of gratitude. You begin to evoke the excitement, the happiness, the passion, the purpose, and all those things. Now, I also understand there are things which, when people have attacked us in some way, there is a grief period. There is times when you feel like you need to hold it on, and that is absolutely up to each individual. All I want to say really is be careful and be conscious of the words that you're speaking to yourself and speaking to others. Because without realizing it, you might actually be harming yourself more than you can actually know. Because those negative feelings, those words have attachments. They have meaning. And depending on the meaning, in other words, if it's good or if it's bad, you'll either get good or bad. And that means the results we produce are not going to be successful or not successful. So when you're around people in your life, remember to not participate in the drama. Because when you go there in your mind, when you go there in your words, you're going there in your body as well. Now, we only have this vessel for a certain period of time. We should not be trying to reduce the expiry date of our vessel by speaking ill into our life. We just shouldn't do that. Instead, begin to look for proactive ways of being able to better yourself, to become more successful, to become more happy, to become more peaceful, more content and fulfilled, that allows you to bring more of those feelings, more of those experiences, which matches your highest purpose in life, your highest intention in life. Now think about it. Let's just say you have a goal. The best way to achieve a goal is not to experience the scarcity or the doubt around that goal, because you're just breeding and breathing more of that scarcity into it. The best way to achieve a goal is to consider the feelings that you would have having got the goal. Now, let's just say it's money. If you attracted that money into your life through hard work, massive inspired action, then you consider what feeling that would give you. Maybe it's freedom. Now, the best way to be able to get that goal is to operate from a level of freedom, to begin to listen to things, watch things which give you that feeling of freedom. If it's power, you begin to watch things, listen to things, educate yourself to be able to experience that state of power. Because when you're in that state of power, you begin to attract things into your life biologically which match the same frequency or energy or feeling that you're experiencing right there. Now, when it comes to speaking ill into people's life or into your own life, when you're feeling that feeling, guess what's happening? You're actually attracting more of the same as well. That feeling breeds more of the feeling. So if you're into the drama, you're breeding more drama into your life. And we have enough drama in our life without needing to breed more of it into our life. We have enough of the issues in our life to deal with without trying to get more into it. So begin to refuse to participate in other people's dramas. Begin to refuse to participate in other people's gossiping or ill words toward other people. And for us, we need to refuse to participate in speaking ill into other people's lives, because when we're speaking it, we are feeling it, and therefore, physically, biologically, we are feeling and getting more of that. Now, if that feeling is there, it goes into our actions throughout the day. We never work very well when we're in a state of anger. Maybe in the gym, who knows. But more often than not, it does not feel good. We never really begin to achieve our goals from a state of sadness or fear. Sometimes fear, if it's bad enough, it kind of motivates us, but it's not the most healthiest or efficient way, right? You see, those emotions do not serve us to achieve things. Realize that those emotions are there for a certain reason to pay attention to then deal with. If you're experiencing these negative emotions in your life because of your past, you just got to deal with those emotions. Because they're there for a reason. If you pay attention to them, learn from them, grow from them, the body doesn't need to keep them anymore. It's just the way it is. Fear is here to protect us, so let's go ahead, learn from it at an unconscious level, and therefore the fear does not have to exist. Same thing for anger, same thing for sadness, guilt, hurt, frustration, all those emotions. They are there for a reason for us to pay attention to then deal with them. Not to bury them down, not to evoke more of them, not to engage more in them. It's actually to be able to deal with them by learning from them and letting them go. So before you get into situations and someone is speaking ill about other people, or if you begin to participate in that, begin to become conscious of it. Because when you go there in your mind and body, you're beginning to produce more of the same. And if I were you, I would prefer to speak good into my life, to speak good into other people's life, to speak abundance, gratitude, love, happiness, drive, motivation, peace, wholeness, contentment. Each word that we speak has a certain energy. And if that energy is good, you're going to feel good. If that energy is bad, whereas about someone else, some situation, you're going to feel it too. So we may as well pick our words far better through choice, rather unconsciously getting lost and then the unconscious mind just repeating that to evoke more of it. At the end of the day, we have to become conscious of making the transformation on ourselves. Okay, so people are agreeing. And other people actually saw my wonderful cat and saying wonderful, nice things as well. So just remember that. That's all I'm here to say today is, look, be careful of the words that you speak, because those words have feelings and your body feels them. That's it. Biologically, that's it. But the results of that creates more conflict, and conflict in your body is not good for you. When you think of the words dis-ease or disorder, so medical terms, dis-ease, disorder. There's a dis-ease in the body. There's a lack of ease. Disorder, there is a lack of order. So when we're feeling negative feelings, it is a proven fact that that is not good for our body. Stress is not good for the body. Stress breaks the chain of good health. And stress can be put down to anger, sadness, fear, guilt, hurt, frustration, and any other name of emotion you can think of which is negative. So begin to speak power into your life. Speak good into people's life. Even if they've done something bad, I would prefer to say, do you know what? I might not agree, but I really hope they get better. I really hope they begin to learn from this situation. Because that's the best way. If we can't correct that situation ourselves and we're just gossiping, or we're just like talking about someone else, or we're just running it over in our mind because we're not coming up with the actual solution, we may as well speak positivity. If not, just speak positivity in your life. Like, I refuse to engage in that because I'm looking after me. And I know that actively engaging is going to cause more stress. So I'm going to just choose to actively engage in what is good in my life, my qualities, my gratitude lists, my goals, my dreams, and forget the rest. You see, sometimes on my stuff, I get people say they don't like what I say. I've had people say they don't like the way I look. Why would they say that? Sometimes people would say they don't like the sound of my voice. Now, if I were to engage in that, if I were to personally reply to everyone who ever did that, if I was trying to just gossip about it and talk about it, that is going to stop me fulfill my mission and vision. I prefer just to forget about the haters and focus on me. Focus on my happiness, because I know when I am the happiest Joe, I'm going to be the happiest person in other people's lives too. I'm going to actually be a good person to be around. I'm going to be a joyful person. I'm going to be an abundant person. I'm going to be someone that people want to be around. They're going to get the best version of me, and that means they're going to get more value from me. And that means I can be of service more. But if I'm actively engaging in the negativity, the gossip, the doubts, the worries, the fears, we're not going to really be healthy like that. So think about that. It could be a huge shift in your energy. Think about it. Every word has that emotion to it, has a feeling to it. Does it bring you up? Here's what I usually like to do, by the way. Does what I'm doing right now lift me up or bring me down? That's the best way to gauge it. If I'm saying something right now, is it lifting me up or bringing me down? If I'm doing something in my life, is it lifting me up or is it bringing me down? If it's bringing me down, I'm going to be able to then choose not to engage in it or to do something else, to learn from it, to grow from it, to let it go, and to gain what I need to be able to succeed. If it's lifting me up, then I'm going to just keep doing what I'm doing, because if it's lifting me up, I'm actually going to bigger and better things. But we can choose to be brought down or lifted up. And usually it's because of the words that we're speaking, the thoughts we're having, the feelings we're having, the behaviors we're doing because of the consequence of the thoughts and feelings and the ideas and the beliefs we have about ourselves, others, and the world. So just let that be your gauge. Are those people? Is the gossip? Is the words lifting me up or bringing me down? And you'll know. You'll know if that's good for you or bad for you. So I hope you enjoyed this class. If you did, go ahead and let me know on the comments, and feel free to share. You never know, someone might just need this. And more importantly, if you get value from my work and you want to experience the deepest, most profound transformations in your life, and I really promise that, I am so committed and driven by this, I want to personally coach you. So if you want to speak to me in person, you want to be able to get the absolute strategic systems which will revolutionize your health, your relationship, your career, your finances, to let go of the core issues, the hidden unconscious issues, which are actually stopping us, then you are in for a wonderful surprise, my friend. Because if you get value from this, what I've been talking about now and every other audio and video, this is going to blow your mind. So I look forward to speaking to you all very soon.
I would recommend Mind Mastery to anyone that wants to overcome any issue in their life, and 100%.
I would buy it for other people if I thought they'd use it, but there's no point in doing that. If you have you ever feel disconnected, you will always have somebody to be connected with on Mind Mastery.
I would recommend Mind Mastery to everyone. Even if you don't think there's improvement that you need to make or specific steps that you need to take to improve your life, everybody can use support. Everybody can use people to guide you. We all need those kinds of guides, and reaching out to somebody, there's no shame in learning, there's no shame in asking for help, and I feel that Mind Mastery truly gives that help and support that I definitely was looking for, and that everybody can help and use a little bit.
You've got nothing to lose. You can try and find the answers everywhere else. You can waste that time, but if you give Mind Mastery a try, you won't regret it. There's so much you don't know about yourself. There's so many answers that you're looking for, which you can find in Mind Mastery.
I would say definitely join Mind Mastery. You've got the support. Joseph has got so much, to give, and so much for everyone to learn. And you have the great support with Joseph and his wife Melissa, as well as the people in Mind Mastery.
The Mind Mastery community, the online part, is an amazing group where everybody is so friendly, so supportive of one another. There is never a negative word. You can log on at any time and there will always be someone who will listen to what you've got to say, and the feedback and the positive comments are amazing. I've travelled all the way from the UK to come to San Diego and be a part of this first seminar, and there are people here from all over the world. It's been an amazing experience. There's such a good vibe, the rapport with everybody. It's amazingly well humoured as well. Although it's very serious stuff that we're doing here, it's also great fun.
Even before meeting you in person, seeing the videos, participating in the live calls, I never feel that there's a screen in between. I feel a connection even through the cyberspace, and same with the other people as well. I feel definitely a connection. You are so passionate about what you do, and it comes through whenever you give, whether it's a process or it's a spontaneous live Facebook chat after a run or something. You really live what you teach, and it comes through very genuinely. So Joseph is a very genuine, loving, giving, warm person.
Joseph, I think, is amazing. He's done amazing work, and he's helped me a lot. As I said, I don't know where I would be if I hadn't met Joseph. He's helped me in so many ways, and I don't think I could give back what he's given to me, and all I could say is thank you.
Joseph is, first of all, I just think he's an excellent hypnotherapist. That's just an absolute given, okay? In terms of running Mind Mastery, I think it's done. I think he's a professional. He's done this by himself. He's self-educated, self-taught. He's been on the journey. He's overcome a lot of things, so he can really teach you. He's walked the walk, and now he's talking the talk, so he can do both. And the thing that's really great is, like I said, he continues to support you throughout the process. And my highest compliment is that he is a kind and caring man. And that makes all the difference.
Okay, so I don't know if Joseph Clough knows this, but I went online, I don't know how many years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and I was trying to deal with a driving phobia. By the way, this weekend, I've been letting other people drive me all over, okay? And somebody was telling me how great this person was, and I went and listened, and I started working with whatever stuff for free for a year or two. I was working for free with all these hypnosis, and it was helping me so much. And as soon as my mastery came on, I didn't pull the trigger right away. It took me a couple months, but as soon as I felt like, okay, I have to do this, I did, and Joseph Clough has helped me so much. I would give anything to help him.
Joseph, the hypnotherapist, his work has been really amazing. I've tried other types of therapy and hypnosis before, and it's helped, but it's never resonated as much as Joseph's work has. You know, I've learned and I've grown so much through Joseph's work, and being here on the weekend and meeting him in person now as well. He's a real stand-up guy. He's fantastic to be around. He's great fun, and it's just been an absolute pleasure to be here.
Joseph is awesome. He is a legend, and he's my hero. He always knows, he always has the answers, but he never gives them to you. You have to find them yourselves, but he gives you the cues. And Joseph often says that you have it in you, and that's true. And he just brings it out. He knows the buttons to press, and you just got to press them.